All I can see is Dr. Dory on the side looking. And I'm scared. I'm very scared to get on that scale.
It's 5:30. You're clearly not there. You're like about 30 pounds over right now.
Yeah.
So this is the final episode in season 1 of 1,000-Pound Roomies, and it is full of a lot of stuff going on, weigh-ins and progress with their weight loss journey, and not so much drama, which I appreciated because some reality shows can be crazy with drama. But I didn't talk about this much in the last reaction, but they did do the final weigh-in, and it does continue into this final episode. This is the important weigh-in that Jazz has been waiting for to see if she's approved for surgery or not. Weight loss surgery, of course. She does weigh in, and she's very, very nervous. And unfortunately, she did not make her goal. She weighed in at around 530, around there. And the goal was 500 pounds. So she was supposed to lose a total of 130-ish pounds from 630. And she was around 530, which is still a lot of weight, still 100 pounds. Don't get me wrong. And the last episode did kind of hint that it would go that way because she suddenly decided to stop taking the weight loss shot. And it's the final stretch where she's right there, right at her goal. And instead of powering through, she drops the shot, which, don't get me wrong, if she's getting sick all the time from the shot and she's feeling terrible, I totally get it. I would drop it too. But it just seems weird that she struggled all that time because this is over the course of 6 months, right? And she lasts 5 months. And then in the final month, she up and drops everything and just starts binge eating again. They showed her have a cheat meal with Misha, but I digress. So moving on, they do weigh her in and she's very, very upset. She's teary-eyed. I can totally understand that as well. Weighing in is so frustrating and it's such an emotional blow. I do not like weighing in at the doctor at all for any reason. I have my struggles at home with the scale. I'll be having a great day, a great week, and I'll weigh in and it's not a not so good number and I'll just be angry. It'll just turn my whole day around, turn my whole week around. So I get it. But the good thing that came out of it was the doctor did see all of the hard work that she has put in and did appreciate that and decided 5 months of hard work versus 1 month of not so hard work. Okay, she's proven herself. She's lost 100 pounds. So she is approved for surgery and it's all high fives and happy days in that moment. But the celebration gets cut short because Jazz immediately tells the doctor, okay, now we need to weigh in Nisha. And it kind of ruins that celebratory mood, that happy mood, because Nisha's just not on board at all. And her body language completely changes and stiffens. And I don't know, it just seemed out of the blue and awkward. But I know that probably the show and everyone is on board for Nisha to have the surgery as well. So it's kind of similar to 1,000-Pound Best Friends. They all pressure Tina over there. She's like Nisha. She does not want to have the surgery. She wants to lose weight naturally. And everyone's just pressuring her. She does not want the surgery, but she does agree to weigh in. She's been weighing in with the doctor, doing it on her own. Nisha weighs in, and she hasn't really lost that much. She's nowhere near her goal. Enough said. I really admire Nisha for trying to do this on her own, but it is tough, especially when you're up there and you have these addiction issues with food, disordered eating. It's hard. It's really hard. So I get it. And without any help, Jazz has had the shot, but the shot has its own problems, its own side effects as well. I thought it was really funny, though, when Nisha did go to weigh in, she asked if she could take her sweater off. And boy, do I understand that. I know every little piece of clothing has some weight, even if it's the tiniest little ounces, you know, you want to take those ounces off. You know, shoes, I know when I wear my shoes and weigh in, I'm more for sure, at least half a pound at least. So shoes, jewelry, clothes, extra clothes, jackets, all of that. I totally get it. And it was funny because they were like, is that really going to make a difference? But it does. I think it does. I know it's silly, but every little ounce counts when you're losing weight.
I probably lost about like 50 pounds because I've been doing everything that Jazz has been doing. I've been eating everything that Jazz has been eating.
Wait.
Hold on.
No, because we're not gonna.
Hold on.
We're not gonna lie. So you been having protein shakes?
Yeah.
Salad.
But moving on, the day of surgery does come. And like any surgery day, like any big event, Jazz is nervous. She wakes up nervous. And actually, Nisha seems more nervous than Jazz because she has a big issue with surgery. And so do I. A lot of people are scared of surgery, and for good reason, because surgery is scary. Surgery, anything can go wrong. There are side effects that happen all the time. That's just kind of the scary thing about it, is that you don't know what's going to happen. And even if you have the best of the best, the greatest crew of all time working on you, the best doctors, the best nurses, it's risky. It's really risky. But they end up going to the hospital, meeting up with Jazz's granny and Poppy, and she's really nervous. And I thought it was so sweet how they really supported her in this moment and really calmed her nerves. They were empathetic and they were there for her. It was great. That was touching. But it's time for the surgery. They get her prepped. They get her on the gurney. They weigh her in again. And she has actually she's actually met her goal these couple of weeks since the last appointment to the surgery. So she did prove herself, and she definitely deserves this surgery for sure. And it was a great moment, but once again, this celebratory moment gets turned into something awkward and negative in a way, because the doctor asks her, well, how did you get to your goal weight? How was your diet this week? You didn't do it on your liquid diet? Yeah, the liquid diet, okay. So I didn't talk about this, but Nisha threw another celebration dinner for Jazz. It seems like every time they're celebrating anything, Nisha prepares food of some kind, but she throws this huge dinner and all the family comes. Really sweet scene, by the way. You should check it out, where they're really supporting her. They compare her to a soldier in war, and she's just has so much strength, and she's going to do it. Very sweet. But Nisha cooks this huge meal, and Jazz is on a liquid diet, because before surgery, you got to be on a liquid diet before any procedure. It just reduces the risk of things going wrong, food getting into places it shouldn't, etc., etc. So Jazz is on this liquid diet. And when the doctor talks about that, Jazz gets this look on her face, this guilty look. Nisha looks guilty. They both look guilty. Apparently, Nisha cooked up some enchiladas and tacos the night before the surgery. The night before. And Jazz ate some. She ate some of the enchiladas. She ate some tacos.
What happened?
Nisha made enchiladas.
What?
And I had that and 2 tacos.
If I was Jazz, I wouldn't have told Dr. Nori. But then again, what if she need extra tools to get the tacos out?
Well, we're gonna see what we have to find in that stomach then today. All those tacos and enchiladas. Last week I asked Jasmine to stay on a liquid diet. So if Jasmine is eating solid food up until the night before surgery, that can have some complications, and that the main one is aspiration.
She's talking about, I wouldn't say anything at all. But Jazz is honest, and she does tell the doctor that, yes, she did eat the night before. And the doctor was kind of funny in the moment, because she said, oh, wow, well, we're going to do the surgery. I guess we'll open you up and see what we find. I mean, in the moment, it was really funny, because just the way they were acting, the guilt, all of that, it was making me laugh. But in all seriousness, the doctor was right. It's dangerous to do something like that. Very dangerous. There's risks of aspiration and problems with your stomach and surgery complications, and in the worst case scenario, sepsis. Sepsis is very dangerous to get. So I totally saw the doctor's point of view. I always will see that point of view. If you're told to fast before a procedure, do it. because it makes it more dangerous. So they go ahead and proceed with the sleeve gastrectomy surgery anyways. I guess the doctor felt comfortable with doing the procedure anyways, just to see what they can do. It's a case-by-case situation, I think. But they go ahead and do the surgery. Oh, I loved the scene where Granny talks about how she's so happy for her, that they were worried about her getting the surgery in the first place, but they came around and realized this is what she wanted and this is the best thing for her. And she's just near tears, and it was so heartwarming and touching, and I just really love that moment. When Jazz gets home, she and Nisha are having this little video diary, and Jazz talks about how her stomach is now the size of a banana, a small little slim banana. And Nisha, of course, says hers is the size of a watermelon. But yeah, this surgery basically reduces the size of your stomach to a really small one so that you're not able to eat as much. And essentially you will lose weight because of that over time. However, we've seen from Dr. Now, from My 600 Pound Life, that people can and do stretch it back out again and gain the weight back. So gotta be careful in this sense. After that, everything seems to be going well. Nisha is having this ongoing confrontation with her mother because of this cult that they were raised in. I didn't really talk about it before, just because they do kind of skim through it. They don't talk too much on it, but it is relevant because her family, they were manipulated and brought into a toxic environment, a cult environment with a church, where they were forced to obey and do things a certain way with very little to no free will. The girls had to wear dresses all the time, and they had a strict food regimen, which included fasting. And I'm sorry, but fasting for children just seems like child abuse to me. And no kid should be forced to fast for any reason. I just think kids, there's this age range where they don't know what they're doing. They don't know why they're doing it. And to put them through fasting when they don't understand why, and they're in pain because they're hungry, it's going to affect them mentally. It's going to affect their growth, both physically and mentally, and affect them for life. And Nisha, I totally 100% agree with her that this fasting is one of the main reasons she is so much heavier later in life. Whereas Jazz, she had issues with a violent parent with her father and violent partners. That kind of led to her food issues and anxiety and self-love issues. And Nisha, she had issues with this whole cult thing and growing up in this position. And the craziest thing about it was the pastor that led it, he was overweight. He wasn't skinny by any means, and he's making these kids fast. So yeah, I'm not going to get too much into that just because it's very complicated, and cults are a complicated subject. But this affected Nisha a lot, and she confronts her mother about it. And all she's really looking for is acknowledgement and an apology. But her mother is very, very, very hesitant to do so and defensive. She's very, very defensive about it and doesn't want to talk about it at all. And I can tell that they've probably had similar conversations, and because of this, it just was blown off or subject was changed, something along those lines. And these kind of conversations are very, very painful and hard to have. That's why therapy is so important, because you have this third-party person that's monitoring it and can change the subject or change the situation if it gets too tense. So that can settle these things. So in this moment, the show kind of pushes Nisha to just finally get it over with and do it. And she does get her mom to apologize. But at the same time, I do see her mom's side of the story. Her mom says manipulation has no age, and that's true. She was manipulated as well. Her whole family was manipulated, and anyone can be naive, anyone can be gullible and can believe an abusive person. It just happens every day. It's a sad, sad fact. But at the same time, she was the adult. Nisha was the child. She couldn't do much about it. And children have to follow what their parents do and say. That's just the reality of it, the cold reality of it. So I think Nisha's right that she did deserve an apology. And I feel sorry for her mom as well for being abducted into that situation. But this is getting a little long, so I want to finish this finale up. It was such a touching finale. It actually made me tear up. And I didn't want to tear up. I didn't want to get emotional, but it did make me. Towards the end, all of a sudden, the Jazz falls down. She falls down and an ambulance has to come and take her to the hospital. They take her there and they diagnose her with muscle atrophy. I don't know if this is related to her arthritis issues or if it was a side effect of the surgery, maybe a little bit of both. But I just remember the phone call between her and Nisha on phone. It was a phone video call, and Jazz was mentioning that she could barely grip the phone and she had grip issues, and that just reminded me of carpal tunnel syndrome and also arthritis. So it might be a little bit of both happening. I don't know for sure. The doctors never really talked about it. They never confirmed it. The main thing they focused on was muscle atrophy. And she's just really bummed out. Jazz is really bummed out, stuck in the hospital. She eventually gets a phone call and talks with her daughter. And I thought this was so sweet, but her daughter pulled her out of it. It sparked something in her. She felt this determination come over her. And she decided she's going to fight this and she's going to do the physical therapy and get out of bed and walk again.
I've been doing physical therapy. In the beginning, it was hard. Now it's getting easier because I'm able to push up on the walker with less help. I lost 145 pounds since I started this weight loss journey. I'm not stopping, so it's for my nana.
And I really admire her strength for that because being in the hospital, it's tough. It's hard. You don't know what's happening. You're scared. You're crying. You're depressed. You don't feel like doing much, just getting better. But her daughter calling her sparked her to do something and really follow doctor's orders, do the PT. And you see it all the time on Dr. Now, My 600-Pound Life, where there are patients that are stubborn and they will refuse to do the physical therapy, probably out of fear that they're going to hurt themselves or just stubbornness, laziness, whatever you want to call it. But there's many, many reasons for that. But Jazz uses her daughter to focus and get herself back and going again. And I thought that was so motivational, so inspirational. It was making me tear up. They have this whole montage scene. It's like something out of Rocky. And I just loved it. I loved every single minute of it. So after 10 days of being serious and getting on it, she is released and she's able to go home and she's able to move again. She actually asks Nisha to watch her and make sure she's able to move with her twerking. That scene, okay. I'll check it out. It's very funny. Very, very funny. But in all seriousness, the ending also made me tear up as well because Jazz asks to talk to Nisha, heart to heart, serious conversation right after this twerking thing, but serious.
Say what you gotta say.
And what I gotta say is it's time for you to get your together.
What do you mean get my together?
I don't want you to end up like this. Look at all this medicine I gotta take. I can't even walk. And that's something that I do not want you to go through.
Yeah.
Your health ain't nothing to play with. Don't play with it how I play with mine. Because I'm telling you, when you laid up in that hospital, when you ain't got to hold on to but your faith, when it feel like, is this the last day I'm gonna be here around?
So she tells Nisha that she does not want her to end up like she is currently. She does not want her to end up in the hospital for crazy diseases from being overweight. The doctor in the beginning of the episode told Nisha that at this weight, she would not make it very long. Most people don't grow very old when they are this level of obesity. So Jazz is worried for her and she's asking her to please, please, please do something about this and please get back on track and lose some weight because she doesn't want her to be like her. And I don't know if she's hinting at her getting surgery or what, but she says she's got to do something and soon and quick. And Nisha got the message. So I'm going to wrap this up here. This was the finale. It was a bittersweet ending, though. She got her surgery. She's doing great, only to have a bit of a setback with this fall and the muscle atrophy and being in the hospital, that's got to be scary. And this can really push you off track when you're going for a goal. So I totally get it. And I hope she doesn't let this hold her down. She keeps her daughter in her heart, and she keeps the advice she gave Nisha in her heart and follows it for herself. Because it's easy to give advice, but it's not easy to take advice. So I hope everyone out there is chasing their own goals and completing little baby steps every step of the way, because they do add up, and you will eventually reach the long-term goal if you keep at it. Keep chipping at it, one bit by bit by bit. So happy goal getting. Have a great day.
Hey guys, this is from the future. I did do a quick search of the second season. There is no second season scheduled. I don't know how I got that information. I was just scrolling probably on Google or social media, and someone was talking about it, and they said it was confirmed. But after searching, after doing another search, I found, that's not happening. So I'm really disappointed about that, because I was really excited to see a next part, and now I'm disappointed. So that's a bummer, but it's okay. Hopefully in the future there will be something, and if not, it's really up to them. If they want to keep their private life private, I totally understand that. I don't like showing all of my life either, and I get the reasons why. So that's just the quick update here. If they decide to do it, then I'll be happy. If not, I get it. I'll just continue with, other shows, and I don't know. I hope you're having a great day. So just adding that in. Bye.